2019, a little after 9:20 a.m. I'd like to now call this meeting to order and ask that you please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Ms. Terry Salter.
Dear Father, we thank everyone for being here today, those gathered and tuned in. Lord, we ask for special prayer for Council Member Patrick Pullen, Mayor Pro Tem, and also Council Member Bill Mello. Please keep them in your prayers, everyone. Thank you, Lord, for your blessings, what you have done and yet to do for Orange. We ask that your blessings would rest on the residents of Orange. We ask that you would continue to give us great vision and enthusiasm for our dedication to serving our residents. God, please bless the efforts of our officials, council members, and everyone committed to moving Orange forward in a positive direction. Strengthen the bonds between us and the influence of our work. Lord, as we plan and carry out the duties as a representative of the people, our prayers is that you guide us by your Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilwoman Terry Salter. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's awesome to see all these beautiful faces in here. Some of y'all are smiling. Hopefully you'll be smiling when we finish, right? Okay, on to item 3, motion. Item 3A, motion finding that the advanced posting and notice requirements of Article 8.1200 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Orange, Texas have been met in relation to all minutes and pending ordinances and resolutions on this agenda, and that the reading of such items be confined to the captions as are agreed upon by the ordinances and resolutions. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. On to item 4, approval of minutes. April 9th, 2019, Orange Economic Development Corporation meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion passes. April 23rd, 2019, regular city council meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. On to item 5, citizen comments. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes for each speaker, and your comments are appreciated. As the Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the council to respond to items not listed on the agenda, your comments will be duly noted by the council and forwarded to the appropriate department for prompt consideration. At this time, the first name I have on my list is Ms. Penny Lalou. Please come forward, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Penny Lalou, 9227 Cajun Way. Thank you, Mayor Spears and the esteemed council for letting me talk to you this morning. Some of you know me, some of you may not, so I'm going to give you a little quick background on me. I worked 10 years at the Record newspapers. The last several years I have been doing what I can to promote the fun and positive aspects of Orange County and surrounding areas through social media and the internet, through what's happening in Orange County and On the Road with Penny. I've also done several film race competitions the last several years, and last year I actually wrote my very first screenplay that, with some revisions, actually won second place in Lake Charles, and I'm working on it to continue that. And that kind of is what brings me here today, is I had something that happened last month, and I kind of need your assistance. I wrote a second screenplay, and as soon as I did, I realized it was producible. And it could be producible in Orange. It's just a short film. But what I need from y'all is the library is actually an integral part to the storyline. And I have a few scenes that would need to be shot in a library. So I'm looking to see if I can get permission from y'all to do that. There are also some other scenes that would be like street scenes. What I plan on doing with this is enter it in some film festivals in areas and all. Now, will it get to Sundance? Who knows? But it would certainly qualify for some area, regional festivals. And what I what I want to do with that is to help showcase Orange as potential shooting locations, because I know y'all are trying to grow the city, but things that would bring other businesses in here would also be things that would be good for films. Now, there's not a big industry in this area, but this is like one small step forward to kind of letting people know that y'all have some really good locations that could be used for short films, or who knows, one day you might would get a big one, but I'm taking small steps here, and so that's what I'm looking to get from y'all today. I have kind of a really short shooting window though, because the person that I want as my female lead is going to be moving to Asia. And so she's only going to be in town for like 1 week towards the end of June. That's why I have like a little bit of a hurry up issue. We're looking at around June 19th, 20th is when we would be needing the library. I guess I'm almost out.
Ms. LaLue, can I get your phone number and
it's-
your contact information, and I'll be in contact with you?
Okay, it's 409-728-5970. Please text first. Do you want my email address?
Yeah, I can get that from you privately
Okay.
if you'd rather.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Got a movie coming. Yay. Next up, we have Miss Delina King.
Okay.
I guess his phone has like a buzzer. You heard it on accident. I don't know if you're supposed to do that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please excuse my attire. I'm going to the senior citizen rally when I leave here. Again, my name is Delina King, and I am the partnership specialist for the U.S. Census Bureau. My job is to educate, engage, encourage all communities in the Golden Triangle to increase participation in the census. The census is almost a year away. The official census date is April 1st, 2020. Our goal is to have a complete and accurate census count, and we need your help. Your response matters, and it shapes our future. Did you know the Constitution requires that the census count every person in the country? Since 1790, the Census Bureau has conducted a mandated census to determine the number of people living within the United States. The Census Bureau is required to keep your information and your responses confidential. Your information will remain confidential for 72 years. It is very important for everyone in Orange, Texas to respond to the census because their response matters to this area. Their response will help determine how much of the $675 billion in federal funding is distributed, and it also will help bring roads and schools and hospitals in this area. It also funds Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, free lunch. All these federal programs are distributed to each state, but with us in Texas, $43 million each year, so that's $1,578 per person that we could get funding for. So what do I need from you? 3 things. The first is that you need to respond, and that you can help me to let everyone know that their inquiry is important. The second, the Census Bureau is hiring. We can help promote the census job. Currently, there's going to be about 1,200 jobs needed in this area, and we are hiring now for address canvassing. The last is to form a complete count committee. The Complete Count Committee is focused on motivating communities to complete their census questionnaire. The committee works best when it includes a cross-sectional of trusted voices from government agencies, education, business, faith-based, community organizations, and media. In summary, help me make your community count. Remember, the Census Bureau goal is to count every person living in Orange, Texas once, only once, and in the right place on Census Day, April 1st, 2020. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. King, would you give your info? Because Kelvin, we're going to work with you. I know we talked about it before, but we're going to get this going. We got to get it. So please give him your info before you leave. Thank you. It's a lot of jobs. Next up, I have Ms. Hillary Gravitt.
Good morning. The Orange Convention and Visitors Bureau will be hosting Shootout on the Sabine on May 18th and 19th, which is this upcoming Saturday and Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Races will run from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the City of Orange Boat Ramp. We will have children's activities and food vendors out there for those to enjoy. And just a reminder, there are no pets allowed at this event, but coolers are welcome, and we do encourage you to bring your lawn chairs to come out and enjoy the event with us. And as always, the event is free to the public. So additional information can be found on the Orange Convention and Visitors Bureau website and Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council? Okay. If there isn't, I will move on to the next item. Item 6, proclamation presentations. 6A, National Salvation Army Week. Okay. Proclamation from Office of the Mayor, City of Orange. Whereas the Salvation Army's only business in this community of Orange, Texas, as everywhere, is still human business, undertaken with joy for the family of humankind to the greater glory of God. And whereas through sound, innovative, and professional services, the Salvation Army serves the people of Orange with unshakable faith and awe, no matter how desperate the situation, and views all people as people with possibilities. And whereas the Salvation Army acts on behalf of the residents of our community with neither salvation nor any other condition prerequisite, nor expecting any thanks, yet nonetheless welcoming community support, now therefore I, Larry Spears Jr., Mayor of the City of Orange, Texas, do proclaim the period of May 13th through 18th, 2019 as National Salvation Army Week in the City of Orange, Texas, and do urge all citizens to join me in saluting the steadfast men and women who bind up the broken and renew the heart of our community by their quiet service of compassion, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and have caused the seal of the City of Orange, Texas, to be hereto affixed this the 14th day of May, 2019.
Get anywhere near that word again. Yeah. And there was no salvation.
On behalf of the Salvation Army of Orange County, we say thank you to the mayor and the council members for your support and all that the Salvation Army does within this community. We serve families without discrimination, individuals without discrimination. We want to make an impact upon families. We want to be able to help whatever they have in their pocket go farther, whether that be through our social services. Last night we had a line outside of our building for our summer day camp program.
Awesome.
And our limit was met with just within a couple hours. So we hope to be able to make an impact upon not just Orange, but the whole county, and to be able to serve families and citizens in the most respectful way through the love of God.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe you want to start singing that spiritual, I'm a soldier. Okay, now folks, this next presentation is one that I'm so happy that many of you are here. This is a very, very, very special proclamation out of the office of the mayor for Chief David Frenzel. So let me read this for you. Whereas David Frenzel began his career with the City of Orange Fire Department on April 19th, 1969, and whereas April 19th, 2019 marked his 50th year with the city, and whereas Chief Frenzel has served in the following positions. In April 19th of 1969, he was a fireman. In 1979, June 2nd, he was promoted to fire lieutenant. In May 31st of 1989, he was battalion chief. April 15th of 1991, he became deputy fire chief. July 25th, 1995, he became deputy fire chief and emergency management coordinator. And on February 1st of 1997, he became our official fire chief. Whereas these years of service have been marked by exemplary and energetic leadership, and whereas dedicated service, and whereas commends and congratulates This proclamation shall serve as a notice for today and a reminder of tomorrow that the citizens of Orange, Texas in the year 2019 have recognized a very special person in our community. Now therefore, I, Larry Spears Jr., on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Orange, do hereby proclaim that May 14th, 2019 shall be recognized as a special tribute as Chief David Frenzel Day in the city of Orange, Texas. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and have caused the seal of the city to be hereto affixed. This is the 14th day of May, 2019. Congratulations. I kid it with him, I was -12 when he started here. -12. So my dad was like in 5th grade or something like that, right?
It's wonderful.
All right. You wanna say a few words?
Speech.
Let me thank you so very much for this. This is certainly not expected. We celebrated 50 years the other day at the department with the reception, and it's been a wonderful trip. I don't know where the time's gone. It's flown. I was looking, it's funny, you said you were -12. You're actually the 12th mayor that I've worked for.
Wow.
Kelvin is the 10th city manager that I've worked for, and it's just been a wonderful run. As I told people the other day at the reception, I used to think this was a job. I found out over the years this has been a calling. It's been just a wonderful journey. Could not think of a better place to work than the city of Orange, and it's been great. Still got a few things I want to do. Plan to be around for a little bit longer, but Orange Fire Department is a wonderful group of people that strive every day to make this community better, and I'm just blessed to be able to work with them.
Yes.
So thank you for everything.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for everything.
look forward to a little bit more. Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. And now.
The big guns.
And now.
Good morning. I'm Lainey Brown, Regional Director of Community Relations for Congressman Brian Babin, and it's my distinct pleasure and honor to be here to honor a great man, Chief David Frenzel. Yes. Normally in a situation like this, we'd throw a flag over the United States Capitol for you, like the Congressman did, which I have for you now.
Wow.
And if I can present that to you.
Oh, wow.
And I'd like to read the certificate. It's a certificate of special congressional recognition. The accompanying flag was flown over the United States Capitol in honor of Fire Chief David Frenzel and presented on this 14th day of May 2019. Thank you on behalf of the people of the 36th Congressional District for your valiant 50 years of service to the City of Orange Fire Department and the people of the Orange community, and in recognition of a heroism few share and all are grateful for. Brian Babin, Member of Congress. You want to get a picture
Sure.
of it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
That's wonderful. Okay. All right, I'm not done.
oh, we should be.
Such an occasion while the flag is an honor, this occasion could not pass without something a little more. I know that Dave has a great love of history, and I hope that this will be meaningful to him. You've been a staple in Orange County your whole life, and I would say that you're probably one of the most well-known men. And you definitely are an important part of Orange's history. But as of yesterday, you're a part of American history. Congressman Babin entered a congressional record on behalf of your 50 years of service, and I'd like to read that to you. Wow. Congressional Record, United States of America, Proceedings and Debates of the 116th Congress, First Session, House of Representatives, Honorable Brian Babin of Texas, in the House of Representatives, Monday, May 13th, 2019, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chief David Frenzel with Orange Fire Department. Mr. Babin, Madam Speaker, I rise today to congratulate a great man and thank him for 50 years of service to the City of Orange Fire Department, Chief David Frenzel. Chief Frenzel was born on June 25th, 1947 to E.P. and Sophia Frenzel in Orange, Texas. He and his brother Dolan were raised there and attended public school. Chief Frenzel began his college career at Lamar Tech, anticipating a career in the medical field. In the spring of 1969, Fire Chief Vertus Sands called and offered him a job with the fire department on a Thursday. He withdrew from classes at Lamar on Friday and went to work at the fire department on Saturday, April 19th, 1969. The rest, as they say, is history. Chief Frenzel did go on to earn his degree from Loyola University in Fire Protection Technology in 1978 and completed the Executive Officer Program through the National Fire Academy in 2000. Through the years, Chief Frenzel advanced through the ranks at the fire department and was named Fire Chief in 1997. Today, he continues to serve in that capacity, claiming that he still has a few things he would like to accomplish within the department before his retirement. In addition to his firefighter duties, Chief Frenzel has volunteered in many capacities throughout the community, including service on St. Mary's Catholic Church Pastoral Council, serving on the boards of the Sabine Neches Chief Association and Lamar Institute of Technology, and serving as Scoutmaster for Troop 1 for 25 years, with 75 young men earning the rank of Eagle Scout leadership under his leadership. Wow. Chief Frenzel and his wife Hildy have been married for 41 years and have 2 sons, David and Adam, both of whom were valedictorian at West Orange Stark High School and went on to graduate from Texas A&M University. They are also the proud grandparents of 5 grandchildren, Charlie, Sam, Andy, Abigail, and Alden. Chief Frenzel is known for his humble ways, quick wit, and knowledge of Orange history. His most admirable quality is his love of God, his family, and for the Orange Fire Department. Madam Speaker, I rise to congratulate Chief Frenzel on his half-century of dedicated service to the Orange Fire Department, and in thanks of a heroism few share, but all are grateful for. Brian Babin, Member of Congress. These are for your children and grandchildren because they're part of history now too.
Oh, wow.
You can actually search the congressional record, enter a city, a state, a name, and it'll pop up. So congratulations.
Awesome.
In fact, you give me one more second.
You man, hey, you get whatever you want.
All this could have not been possible had it not been for a person in this room.
Oh.
Amen, bro.
Come on,
Amen.
come on, come on.
That's beautiful.
Yay.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Yay.
My wife Hildy was the summer help at the fire department. In a work-based program that the city of Orange had in the summer of 1975. And she was between her junior and senior year in high school. Had no clue what the hell she was doing or anything. And met me, who was almost 11 years older than her.
Wow.
And I don't know. Things just clicked. I swept off her feet, I guess. I don't know. She was young and ignorant. What can I say? But it's been 41 wonderful years.
Wow.
And she's been behind me every day. And it's been countless nights at the fire station during hurricanes, slept in my office, just whatever it took. So this is my rock. This is what I
That's
work.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
This is what happens when you put God first in all that you do, and we appreciate you, Chief. I'm happy that we presented our award before Ms. Laney did. That would have been a tough act to follow. But before we go on, there is one thing that I did love about when we presented him. Actually, Chief did receive a key to the city last week.
Awesome.
And Chief Brown, did she still hear? Chief Brown did a presentation for him, and one of the things that she brought up, in 1969, gas was 23 cents a gallon. Boy, if we could go back in time, right, Chief? Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Okay, on to item 7, public hearing. 7A, conduct a public hearing to receive comments on the proposed budget for the 2019 annual action plan and for comments concerning activities and/or projects to be included in the 5-year consolidated plan for the City of Orange's Community Development Block Grant Program. Ms. Wilson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hate following that.
Yeah, I know.
This morning, this public hearing is for over the first year annual action plan of our new 5-year consolidated plan. And so citizens have an opportunity to comment on not only the 2019 or the first year annual action plan, but also anything they would like to see included as funding for the 5-year consolidated plan. This will be the 3rd public hearing for that inclusion. Just keeping in mind that the public facilities and improvements items are conducted in our local CDBG strategy area, which is a Lomont area, and also that this gives the opportunity for the nonprofits who have been recommended for funding by the Citizens Advisory Council to come before you and also display their applications. I'm going to read the amounts that is in the proposed plan for the citizens to comment on. The CAC recommendations for the first year annual action plan are goals, $6,500. Jackson Community Center, $6,750. Julie Rogers Gift of Life, $5,000. Orange Christian Services, $8,000. OCAA, or it's better known as Meals on Wheels, $7,000. Samaritan Counseling Center for Southeast Texas, $6,000. Southeast Texas Hospice, $5,000. And Stable Spirit, $6,000. There is a cap of 15% of our allocation that could be awarded to public services, so you can't go over that cap. For the city recommendations, code enforcement, $95,000. Rehabilitation of the Strickland Water Tower, which is repainting it, $122,777. And administration, $67,006. Administration also has a cap on it of 20%. So that is the total annual action plan. And I will let the citizens comment at this time.
Is there anyone who'd like to comment?
Hello, and thank you for letting us come before you today. My name is Katie Durio. I'm the Executive Director for Stable Spirit, one of the organizations that has been blessed to receive funds in the past from CDBG through the City of Orange. We come to you again this year asking for assistance again. We have been serving the citizens for 12 years here in this area, and we want to continue to do so, and your help through the CDBG funds allows us to do that. We've asked for assistance this year. Basically what we do, we utilize horses to provide mental, physical, and emotional health work with children and families. And the funds we're asking for assistance with this year are to be able to pay our physical therapists who work with the children through the hippotherapy program. Hippo being the Greek word for horse, so we're using a horse for their therapy. And those children reach their goals 65% quicker by having that ability to be on the horse to be part of their physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Also to pay for some of our farrier services. The farrier is the one who takes care of the hooves for the horses, because without the horses, we don't have a program. And they have been magnificent in being able to be there to help these children. And so our farrier helps us keep them healthy so that we can have a good, healthy program to continue with that, as well as some funds to assist in paying for our clerical person a percentage of her salary in order to allow her to be able to keep all the documentation and everything that we need in order for the programs that we do through the center. So again, thank you for your assistance in the past. We look forward to continue serving the citizens of Orange through our services, and we appreciate this opportunity to come and present that to you today.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Rhonda Powell. I'm the Director of Greater Orange Area Literacy Services, or GOLS. We offer free tutoring for adults in the areas of GED, English as a second language, and reading. We have just started something new. We're working with the students of OCARC, the special needs adults in the DAHAB, and we are reading them a book and doing projects with them. And when it was first brought up to me by the board, I was really nervous about it because I've never worked with or been around special needs people, but it's just been a blessing. That's all I can say. It's been a blessing. I look forward to my Tuesdays when I can go and be with them. I have a couple of statistics for you. 90% of high school dropouts are on welfare, and high school dropouts commit about 75% of our crimes. 75% of America's inmates can't read. 75% of welfare recipients struggle with reading. 32 million people in the United States are illiterate. That means they can't read a book, they can't fill out an application, read a prescription bottle, anything like that that we take for granted. So we believe it's very important what we do. We can help people better their lives and help them get a better job, go to college, feel better about themselves. So we believe that if we've helped one person, it's been all worth it. So we want to thank y'all for all that y'all do for us.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mary McKenna with Southeast Texas Hospice, Executive Director. Congratulations, David, and Hildy, too. That's quite amazing. Thank you, Lainey. That was remarkable. Yes. I am the Executive Director of the hospice, and we've been around not 50 years, but 40. This is our 40th anniversary, so we are Orange strong, Orange proud. We are the first hospice in the whole state of Texas. We are one of the first 20 in the United States of America. So Orange can be very proud of what you have in our facility. You know, we don't have a hospital anymore here, and we're fighting hard to get one, but we are still here. We are a medical facility. We are licensed by the federal government and by the state of Texas, and we are still here. And we are fighting hard to get a hospital back. But we have received grant money in the past from you guys to help dying people. That's what we do. We help transform dying into the final act of living well. Yes. We do that by bringing people to the home to give them whatever they need. We have doctors, nurses, social workers, volunteers, and aides that will go in and help them with whatever it is they need, their family needs. Even we say, okay, the house is brown, there's a pet in the front door, watch out for the dog, the cat's in the bed, and watch when you move the covers. So we take care of everybody and everything. So we did that last year off of the money you granted us with a little lady that had a Harvey storm experience. She had Alzheimer's and her house was severely damaged and she left. But when she came back, she wanted to stay in her home. Her home wasn't really in the best of shape, but she was so disoriented anyway that we felt like it would be really nice if they could manage to keep her there. Her daughter was just incredible and moved there and stayed there with her until she died. And it was your dollars that helped that happen for that lady. It wouldn't have happened otherwise. So we thank you for your dollars in the past. It's for those kinds of people who have those special stressful situations that we can't find coverage for any other way, that we need your help to continue doing that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, keychain, boom, pow.
Thank you.
I like that. And a pen. I'm gonna have a plethora of pens today, baby. Thank you. I got a bunch.
I'm wonderful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Robin McCutcheon with Samaritan Counseling Center of Southeast Texas. In the past, we've come before you guys to ask for funding with a program at North Early Learning Center to work with really the youngest members in the community. However, over the past several years, not only in Orange but across the country, our youth have begun crying out for help. Suicides are on the increase. Depression, anxiety, school shootings have become just something that I hope that we never get accustomed to. And so our funding for request for this year is to move our services to work with West Orange Stark High School students. So we've been in discussions with the counselors to begin providing and assisting the counseling services at the high school. Our school districts are just overwhelmed with trying to meet the emotional support of the students, with school testing, with anxieties, with testing, with all of the pressures that go along with just being a young person in society. The counselors just can't keep up with what they need to do to meet the emotional needs of students. And so we have decided to request funding to send one of our counselors out to the high school to support their efforts with students. And so with the staff on campus, between the counselors, the teaching staff, the administrative staff, they will recommend students that would really work well with a one-on-one counselor being sent from Samaritan on campus to work weekly with those students beginning at the beginning of the year through the end of the year. And the impact we can make will hopefully just trickle down to the other students on campus in the efforts of the behavioral and emotional support that we're hoping to provide. We've done this with a couple of other school districts, and what has happened is that when school lets out in May, some of those students then trickle over and then continue their services over the summer at the location, at our Samaritan location. So their families begin to really see the benefit of mental health support because we've come to them on their at their location at a school. And so then they begin to see what a great avenue that is for them to share their stories, to really heal from whatever it is they're working through. And so that stigma of going to an office setting tends to go away a little bit within their families and within themselves. So our request is shifting from the youngest in your community to the youth in your community, just based on the research and what we're seeing across the country with our young people. And so we look forward to continuing serving in Orange and really trying to be a beacon of intervention and prevention so that we can work with the community in that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that. Even your voice is very calming.
Yes.
I feel like I just lost a whole lot of stress just listening to you. She made me feel at ease. I'm like wanting to go in the back and tell you all my problems.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Campbell. I'm Executive Director of Jackson Community Center. We at Jackson Community Center offer year-round service programs for our community. Our main group of clients that we service are youth, ages 9 through 16. What we have is programs that's really developed and designed to meet some of the needs of our youth. And we have our career development program. We start that training around 13 years old, sometime younger. We do simulations in our workshops to teach them how to respond in an office atmosphere, How to Dress for Success, and resumes. Of course, you know, we think high school, well, young people don't have a resume, but we're teaching them they do. When they go to school, that's part of their resume. What do they do? What activities they do? We tell them that there are things that they can put in a resume. So, and Dress for Success, we teach them how to choose clothes that, even though they can use it for both areas of their life, recreational and career, we teach them you can still add a piece of clothes that can make it a career piece of clothes, outfit. And that's for men and for the young women and young men. We also have our summer program. We work with our youths and we do math and grammar tutoring. We do one-on-one mentoring during the summer. And we have enrichment activities and we have fun day. On fun day, the kids get to choose. We let them choose their activities, what snacks, desserts, whatever they want to do. And they have a good time on Thursdays knowing that they get to choose their own activity. We have our youth garden, and that's a year-round garden. Last year we could not plant because we lost we lost 2 trees during Hurricane Harvey. But this year we've already have our spring garden. We've already started it. It's a vegetable garden, and we do the tomatoes, cucumbers, those type of vegetables. And the youth help maintain the garden. In the garden, we teach our youth teamwork, responsibility, commitment, and healthy eating. When they harvest those vegetables, they share it with their families and community. And then our last service that we have is really not for the youth. It's a service that we've chosen to do for others in the community, and that's the VITA tax service, which is a free service. We work with Lamar and Beaumont, and we offer services to our taxpayers free. Incomes under $54,000. We were able this year to serve 77 taxpayers. Wow. What we did last year with the funds, we were able to, the CDBG funds, we were able to hire one of our young ladies that had gone through our program from the beginning. And we hired her as a part-time help with us during the summer program. And that is a job training for her, and we had a good success, so we're asking for funds again this year to do 3 things. One is to be able to hire her again this year. One is to look for another site that we can offer additional services to another, more youth. And the third is to start a training program for our seniors so that they can get through media, the social media communication. I need that training too, so that's going to help me too. But what I want to do is just thank you for serving helping us serve our community. And we could not do it without the city's CDBG funding and our leaders. We could not do it without you. So we want to thank you, and we look forward to giving you a good report next year.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else? Okay, I will now close this public hearing. It does not need to be voted upon, right, Mr. Knopf? There's no vote needed?
That's correct. We just
Okay.
need to close the public hearing.
Okie dokie. On to item 8, ordinances, final reading. Consider an ordinance of the City of Orange, Texas, suspending the rates proposed by CenterPoint Energy Resources Corporation, DBA, CenterPoint Energy Intex, and CenterPoint Energy Texas Gas Company's Gas Reliability Infrastructure Program, filing made with the city on March 28, 2019, finding that the meeting complies with the Open Meetings Act, making other findings and provisions related to the subject, and declaring an effective date. First reading was April 23rd, 2019. Mr. Knoll.
Yes, sir. CenterPoint Energy is requesting a rate increase that would increase the cost by about $1.56 per resident per month. And this was approved on April 23rd. And by suspending the rates and passing this ordinance, then it will give our consultants time to review the rate increase.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. On to item 8B, final reading. Consider an ordinance by the City of Orange, Texas, City, denying the distribution cost recovery factor rate increase request of Energy Texas Incorporated filed on March 28, 2019, settling just and reasonable rates for Energy Texas Incorporated for service within the municipal limits, finding that the meeting complies with the Open Meetings Act, making other findings. First reading was on April 23rd, 2019. Mr. Knopf.
Energy is requesting to increase their rates, and the rate increase will be about 34 cents per kilowatt hour per resident per month. And by suspending the rates and passing this ordinance, then it will allow both sides, both the company and the coalition of cities, to plead their case before the Public Utility Commission.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This motion passes. 8C, consider an ordinance amending certain portions of Appendix A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Orange, Texas pertaining to garbage and trash collection services. Ms. Zito.
Good morning. Last year, the council wanted to clean up our city. They approved the purchase of an additional grapple truck. Well, our grapple truck is soon to be delivered. The council also agreed that we would need a rate increase to cover the cost of the grapple truck, the operation, one additional person to run this grapple truck. So when our grapple truck is, I believe, due to be completed on June the 4th. So then we have to go pick it up, make sure everything is ready for it. We've already hired another person. Actually, we moved an employee from another department. He asked for a transfer. So we have him training. So when our grapple truck gets here, we'll be ready to roll. So the final cost of that grapple truck was $190,000, a little more than we first anticipated, but it needed whatever equipment, and the cost increased a little. We estimate that the cost of one personnel with their benefits, their insurance, their retirement, taxes, it's about $74,000. We're estimating that maintenance, fuel, the cost to go take whatever they pick up to the dump, that sort of thing, about $65,000. So all in all, we estimated that the grapple truck, its personnel, its maintenance and operations will be about $182,000 per year. So we've calculated the cost, the rate increase needed to be $2.50 per household, not per cart. Some people have multiple containers. This will be per household only. So the new rate for a residential with, for one cart would be $23.95. Do you have any questions?
So the lease payments, we're not buying this truck, we're just leasing the truck?
We're buying it. We're using the lease as a purchase. It's a lease purchase.
Okay.
It's a method of financing for city.
So the lease purchase will be $42,000
is an
a year?
annual lease payment.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's a 5-year lease, so we'll pay it out. That's a financing. We're not leasing it, it's just,
It's called,
it's a lease purchase.
right.
Okay, but you have written here the annual cost for the lease payments
It's
is $42,137.04.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're saying it's a lease purchase?
It's a lease purchase.
Okay, so annually, is that how much we would be paying?
42 for annually, correct.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
As you have to, this is the first reading.
Yes, ma'am. We have to vote on it right now?
Yes, sir. We need a vote. We need a motion and a
I
second on
make
the
a
vote.
motion to accept it.
But I second that, but my second question is the extra things that you have put on the grapple truck, what were the extra things? Is there a, that were put on that
The truck.
raised it up to $190,433.32?
We would have to ask Jim.
Okay, Jim is not here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
I don't recall what the original budgetary estimate was, but we had quite a number of things that we spec'd out in the final quote. The type of grapple that we use. There are different type of grapples. We like to use the kind that our men are familiar with, that when they get near the surface of the grass, it does not tear the grass up in people's front yards. So that's one aspect. And there were other number of safety features on it, how the steps are orientated when they get out of the cab and get behind the unit, the type of control mechanisms. We did some tweaking on that, again, from a safety standpoint. Line of sight, being able to see over the bed of the unit when either a short operator or a tall operator works the controls. The bed has to be orientated where it's not a high bed, where they're able to see into that bed or able to see just over that bed. There's a number of features. The type of grapple crane that we use, it has to be of a particular height, not to exceed. We have a lot of low-lying live oak trees here in town, so we spec'd it out to be at a height no greater than whatever that was. And for safety, the low-lying power lines, so it's a number of things that in the industry, we had to tweak it a little bit. And we've learned over the years, this is probably our 4th or 5th purchase of a grapple truck. So it's just some things that we fine-tuned. It probably did not bump it more than about $8,000 or $10,000 in the $190,000 purchase, I do believe.
So will this grapple truck be able to pick up the bulk items that someone puts out under a tree? Because right now, the grapple truck we have now can't pick up items that are under the oak trees, and we have a lot of oak trees.
Still, we might not be able to do that depending on how low that canopy is. A lot of times we have to we bring a tractor out with a front end loader and we'll push it over.
Okay.
Just because of the safety involved, and particularly if the tree canopy has power lines running through it, it makes it, that much more dangerous.
Okay. Thank you.
I went to the factory, it's in Mississippi. I went over there before we placed the order and took a tour of the factory, and they're first class, and it's the same style truck. It's a Peterbilt chassis on the type of bed and crane that we spec'd out, and Port Neches have run several over the years, so we went over there and looked at theirs and got some pointers, the do's and the don'ts. If we spec out a new one, what they would add or take away from what they've learned in the past as well.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion? And I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. On to item 9A. Consider a resolution approving an EDC infrastructure grant agreement with Cypress Wood Village, LLC, a residential development located at Cypress Wood Drive, Orange, Texas, in an amount not to exceed $350,000 for the purpose of economic development. Mr. Trahan.
Yes, sir. This particular project was discussed in great detail at the EDC meeting this morning, but it's a great new residential project that is off of Highway 87 South at Cypress Wood Drive. And basically, this $350,000 EDC incentive will target infrastructure improvements related to storm drainage. And basically, there's 40 new lots that will be developed off of 105. And the price range will be in the $180,000 to $200,000 range that will add value to the property tax roll and add to the existing Phase 1 development that's taking place at the site now. So we've taken action at the EDC. This is the first reading. We'll follow up with a final reading on May 28th to move the project forward. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So we're ready for a motion and a
Yes,
second.
sir. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Item 9B.
I need to recuse myself.
Okay. Item 9B, consider a resolution approving an EDC infrastructure grant agreement with Mr. Michael Rhines, Real Southern Cooking, located at 1111 Green Avenue, Orange, Texas, 776.
Remember, we only have 4 council members present, and action requires an affirmative vote of 4 members. So
Okay, so we
have to
can't.
table this.
Okay. So we will have to table 9B until a later meeting. Excuse my.
Sorry.
Thank you, sir.
And should we specify?
You can go ahead, he can give you a presentation, you just can't act.
Okay.
Right.
So it was consider a resolution approving an EDC infrastructure grant with Michael Rhines, Real Southern Cooking, located at 1111 Green Avenue, Orange, Texas, 77630, in an amount not to exceed $55,000 for the purpose of economic development. Mr. Trahan.
This was infrastructure driven as well, very similar to the other project, but it included a fire suppression system, some signage, and some other work at the site. However, because of the legal counsel's advisement, I would defer to Councilmember Terry Salter at this time to recuse yourself.
Yes, sir. Oh, I need to state it again?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I need to recuse myself from this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. So no action taken.
So no action, and we will move on to item 9C. Consider a resolution authorizing the interim city manager to enter into an agreement with McGriff, Siebels, and Williams Incorporated to provide insurance consultant services on behalf of the city of Orange. Ms. Zito.
Yes, it's time to renew our contract for our insurance consultant services. For the medical insurance, they're the guys who go out for bids for us, who negotiate with our medical providers to try to get us the lower rates. So the city, in April, we sent out RFPs to, we advertised, we sent them out, and we advertised per our purchasing policy. We formed a committee, we scored it, and we recommend that we award the contract to McGriff, Siebels, and Williams, which is the company that we currently use. They were actually our only bidder, but we were still happy because we have worked well with them in the past, and they have done a very good job.
Okay.
So this motion is to agree to sign the contract with them.
I'll make a motion.
I have
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 9D. Consider a resolution awarding a contract to MK Constructors LLC in the amount of $194,825 for the Coopers Gully Flume roadway and concrete lining repair. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, Mayor, Council, thank you. This is probably one of our last FEMA repair projects that we've got going on. We completed design in-house to try to reduce the cost involved in the project and put more of it into the construction end of things. And we recently bid the project, and the low bid came in at $194. Let me find the bid tab. $194,825. It was bids turned in by MK Constructors. We're familiar with that company. We recommend award to that company.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Real quick, Mr. Wolf. So I saw that they were back out there again after all this rain. About how much more do you think that they have left before they're done with the first part?
We're getting close. We're
Getting close.
around in the corner behind the old shopping center.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to stop it on the main channel at that point. We're going to pick up and move to a second location along the same main channel, but at the 3rd Street Bridge,
The 3rd
adjacent
Street,
to
gotcha.
Navy Park. The lining, concrete lining under the bridge is very critical right now. It's in a bad condition. It's critical to preserving the structural integrity of that bridge. And I want to move ahead. I don't want to spend the rest of my money back downstream. I want to say time out where we are around that curve, pick up and spend the rest of the remaining funds, contract funds. If you recall, we added right at $110,000 to the GLO contract, the contract that we had with GLO that administered the money to begin with several council meetings ago. And later on in this agenda, we'll have a change order for that same contract to the construction contractor. We're adding money and time, but we're very close. We hope to be through with that project in about 6 to 8 weeks.
It's looking really good.
Well, I'll say this, one thing
It
too,
looks
I was
good.
waiting to talk with you to see how much more we had, but it's one of those things that we have to pay attention to. In all of this rain we just experienced, I did not receive one complaint of water in the streets or in someone's yard up to their house. And so this Cooper's Gully is definitely working, so thank you for that.
It's looking really,
It does,
really
it looks
good.
way
And
good.
if-
Good.
This particular item was a concrete flume, damage to a roadway, an old concrete flume, and the old concrete lining at the end of Destroyer Drive where it crosses over, or used to cross over Cooper's Gully directly behind our stormwater pump station.
Okay.
It's a separate, this is a FEMA repair rehab project, this particular project.
Can you tell me what a flume is? It's an odd word.
Yeah, a flume is a trough. It's a oversized gutter, if you will.
Oh.
Typically, they can either be V-shaped or flat bottom. This particular one we designed to convert or divert the water out of the main roadway into a flat bottom ditch, as it were, with tilted side slopes that divert the water without causing damage into the main channel of Cooper's Gully.
Thank you.
When we have a rising river level, When we're under a hurricane or a Sabine River flood, when they have to open the gates, down at the river, we get high river stages and the water backs up, as everybody knows, and a lot of that water diverts itself down to Old Destroyer Drive. And so we have to manage that water to pump it back into the river.
So using that, the flume, the way that you're doing it, helps the water to navigate better?
It will help, and we had to sell FEMA on it. You know, the damage that occurred to the old flume.
Did you say you had to sell FEMA on it?
We had to convince FEMA, we had to show FEMA, we
I
had to
understand.
explain to FEMA.
So nobody asked at FEMA what a flume meant?
No, but, yeah, after the hurricane, you know, we showed them damage and we convinced them, we explained to them, they understood, we had to describe to them, explain how it happened, and it was very evident, the damage was right before their eyes, so.
Yeah, your second career is with FEMA, just so you know.
Thank you, sir. On to item 9E, consider a resolution authorizing the interim city manager to execute change order number 1 with Excavation and Construction LLC for Cooper's Gully concrete lining. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. This is change order number 1 on our big job, our $2.8 million job. This is the very first change order that we've brought to you on that project. It's probably 90-something% complete. We've added 44 calendar days to get us to the end of June, and we've added $108,000 by this change order. And so we ask for your approval in this regard.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 9F, consider a resolution authorizing the interim city manager to enter into an agreement with A&A Electric Company to provide generator maintenance services for the city of Orange. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, sir, Mayor, thank you. Every 3 years, in this particular case, dealing with our generators, we go out for requests for proposals. And we found ourselves being in that predicament here just a few months ago. So over the last months, we have put together at a staff level a committee. We called in a request for proposals. We put out a bid for that, or an advertisement for that. I think we had 3 that responded. They were graded. They were also made very much aware that whatever contract that we enter into with them, with the one we propose to use, that would be, they would have to meet the requirements to satisfy FEMA requirements in case of a hurricane. In case of a hurricane, there are certain things and steps that you have to go through as subcontractors to a municipality to validate all of your invoices and document your labor and equipment and material. And so that kind of cleared the air of some people. They don't want to get involved with that. But we graded the ones that did want to get involved, and we have a recommendation for A&A Electric Company of Beaumont. We would like to go to the next step. We would like to, with your approval, we would like to move forward with their price and fee negotiation. But we have 17 generators. We have quarterly preventive maintenance inspections, and then we have annual maintenance inspections of those generators.
Have we used them before?
A&A, we've used them just hit and miss before, but we've checked their references and they come highly recommended.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Item 9G, consider a resolution authorizing the interim city manager to execute change order number 2 with Allco for wastewater treatment plant improvements, Phase 3. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. This is funded by our $10 million water sewer bond program. This particular project, this change order is for $13,468. I think I have about $35,000 to $45,000 remaining in the bond program proceeds. We're winding down. This is the last stage of this particular contract, and this was the last contract that we put out for construction. So we're winding that big overall program down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 9H, consider a resolution awarding a contract for consulting services to J-Quad Planning Group LLC to conduct an analysis of impediments to affirmatively furthering fair housing, which will become a part of the City of Orange's 5-year consolidated plan, and further approve the exception to the payment allowing monthly invoicing. Ms. Wilson.
This is required by HUD regulations. Once every 5 years, we need to do an AI. And J-Quad has done this for us in the past. And we went out for a request for proposals, and they were the only returned person. They are they've done this for the city of Port Arthur, and also have done their 5-year consolidated plan, so they come highly recommended. One thing they did take exception to, they did not notice in the RFP, was the way I had the payments structured. And so after we finished with the RFP, when I was going over the contract with them, then they saw that, and they did take exception to it. They just want to bill monthly. They're going to be actually traveling to Orange to do focus groups to get this done and canvass the businesses and stuff. And so we didn't have a problem with them billing by the hour or the month, rather than at the finish.
Okay.
But they do need to get started. This is a pretty large document.
Okay.
I will make a motion.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. On to item 9I, consider a resolution ordering a runoff election for the purpose of electing a council member for, ma'am?
That was done yesterday.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So we're gonna skip that. What about the certification as well? Okay, thank you. Okay, item 10, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the Orange Economic Development Corporation's annual financial report and audit report as presented by Brooks, Watson and Company, PLLC, for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2018. Cheryl Zito.
Yes, this is just to acknowledge the receipt of the audit report from Brooks Watson that he presented earlier.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. 10B, consider a motion approving a hotel occupancy tax funding request for the Juneteenth Planning Committee in an amount not to exceed $20,150 to host a 3-day event at the Riverfront Pavilion scheduled for the weekend of June 14th through the 16th of 2019. Mr. Trahan.
Yes, sir, Mayor. So a planning committee was organized several months ago and began working on this particular event in an effort to promote tourism and to celebrate the Juneteenth event for 2019 as well. In just a moment, I'll ask Pastor Devilis Bright, who is the pastor of Salem United Methodist Church, who has served as the leader and chairperson of this committee, to come down to the podium and just make a few comments in terms of what the event holds. But as you mentioned in your comments, it will be held at the Riverfront Pavilion June 14th, 15th, and 16th, beginning on a Friday night and running through Sunday. And as we know, we have the annual round of applications that we process on an annual basis. And as a result of this committee being organized after that, this particular event fell outside of that particular timeline. But that being said, the committee is moving forward with finalizing plans, and this request does include $20,150 that will go towards support of the event, primarily to promote the arts with various activities. So at this time, what I'd like to do is acknowledge Pastor Bright, ask him to make a few comments, and just kind of share an overview in terms of the event for that weekend.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good morning, sir.
I was asked to lead this committee, and we've endeavored to build an event that matches the scope of other events that happen in the city of Orange. It's a 3-day event beginning on Friday, June the 14th, with a Zydeco dance at the Riverfront Pavilion. We'll follow that with a full day of activities on the next day, featuring a barbecue cook-off. The brisket will start cooking at 12 midnight, and we have a full day of events. We have the Ensemble Theater doing a special play for us, writing a special theatrical piece for us to perform on stage. We have a group of area churches competing in something we call the Battle of the choir that will be happening on stage. The National Buffalo Soldiers Museum out of Houston, Texas will be making a presentation. We'll have a parade through downtown from the boat ramp up Simmons Avenue to 5th Street and taking a left down to Riverfront Pavilion, consisting of trail rides, car shows, motorcycle clubs, and area churches, drill teams, and bands. The following day will be an all-white worship service. That means that we'll all be dressed in white.
Yay, white!
And it'll be preceded with a traditional African-American Sunday dinner. The worship service will feature a mass choir, which had a rehearsal last night at Salem United Methodist Church. The mass choir will be consisted of volunteers, of anyone who would like to join, but definitely of churches of all denominations, all races, all creeds. And that will culminate the entire celebration. Juneteenth began in 1867 when the state of Texas received the troops, federal troops, to enforce President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. At that time, the African-American family was born. Without the African-American family, we don't have the basic unit of economic power in our community. We don't have churches. We don't have schools. And we don't have the pillar of a community that creates a vision that I'm looking at right now, a city council in the city of Orange that reflects the diversity and the strength of this community. So I would ask that you would vote to approve those funds so that as we begin our annual celebration, we'll have the funds next year to get started in a more strong fashion.
Make a motion.
Second.
I hate to do this. Part of me wants to be a liar right now and approve it because it's very worthy, but I am on that committee, and I can't, can I?
If she has a conflict, then they don't have 4 votes.
We have to have 4.
Yeah.
So we have to table this?
Okay.
We have to table it. We can table it. Let's table it.
Okay, so, all right.
And
Our
I'm
legal
sorry.
counsel will go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna lie, but my stomach is hurting, so I can't do it.
So I'll tell you what we'll do. It's in the form of a reimbursable grant anyway for every organization that we work with.
Right.
So we have the opportunity to revisit at the Tuesday, May 28th meeting, and then hopefully we'll be able to have the numbers that we need, and you can consistently recuse yourself as we move forward. And I think we still have time to help make it work.
Okay, wonderful.
Good.
Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else that's on the board that, so we have to make sure we know we got enough people next time?
Yeah, has anybody else?
Well, I have helped, but I mean,
Are you
I
on
have
the
a
board?
big conflict.
Well, have you attended the planning meetings?
I have attended.
I don't know, I haven't attended or seen the committee makeup, so, Annette indicated she was, I don't know if it was.
Okay.
I've had
All
a
right.
lot of conflicts
I'll tell you
in
what,
getting
we'll
there.
figure it
But
out.
we'll figure it
We'll work
out
on it.
because we'll figure it out.
But even if you did, it's supposed to be.
Can we get
Okay.
Men in Black in here to do the thing so that we can start over again? I
We'll,
can lie.
I'll tell you what, let's just defer to the May 28th meeting and staff will work on
Gotcha.
it.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. We will defer this to,
We'll get it.
thank you, Pastor Bryce.
We'll get it.
Thank you.
May
Thank you.
28th. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
On to item 10C, consider a motion approving a $30,000 hotel motel occupancy tax expenditure for the Greater Orange Area Chamber of Commerce to host a regional fishing tournament backwater challenge at the City of Orange boat ramp during August 2019 with a provisional entry for the mayor, Larry Spears Jr., Mr. Trahan.
How do we handle that one? Okay, so we're having a lot of fun today, by the way. But so this was formerly a line item that was part of the original hotel occupancy tax budget that was funded for fiscal year 2019. and it dates back to a public hearing and formal motion September 11th of 2018 that already had this line item there. But there's been somewhat of a change in the structure of this particular event, and we do have representatives here from the chamber. So Ida, would you like to make a few comments, and then we can move forward with it? The budget is encumbered at this time, and we'll let them kind of share some insight.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you, Mayor and Councilman. I also have Steve Jones here. He chairs this. It's a vice chair for the chamber for special events. But it changed from a national fishing tournament to a regional fishing tournament. Everything will be the same format. We will have a mandatory dinner for all the fishermen. There's going to be about 200 teams, two-man teams. So we'll have that on Friday night with some music on Friday night, a festival on Saturday. Everyone must launch from the City of Orange boat ramp. So everyone will be here in the City of Orange launching. We will have a weigh-in. We'll have booths. We will have a named entertainer that Saturday night. So everything will be basically the same. It's just not a national fishing event. It'll be more along the lines of a regional fishing event.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. On to item 10D, consider a motion authorizing the following public service organizations for 2019. Community Development Block Grant Program Funding, Greater Orange Area Literacy Service, $6,500. Jackson Community Center, $6,750. Julie Rogers Gift of Life, $5,000. Orange Christian Services, $8,000. Orange Community Action Association, Meals on Wheels for $7,000. Samaritan Counseling Center of Southeast Texas, $6,000. Southeast Texas Hospice for $5,000, and Stable Spirit for $6,000. The total CDBG public service recommendations are $50,250. Ms. Wilson.
Yes, sir. As I said before, there is a 15% cap on these public service allocations. The Citizens Advisory Committee is appointed by the council, and they serve to make these recommendations. They get a copy of all of the funding applications after they've been reviewed. They go over them. The nonprofit agencies have a chance to present to the CAC committee, and they grill them. And I mean, they do grill them. And then they are in a closed session to make their recommendations. I don't change a penny. I just put it in a motion form and send it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Yes,
We
congratulations.
could give you more.
Yes,
They do want to get a picture of you. Hillary does want to get a picture of you as a group,
yes. You want to do it now or before they leave?
whenever she's ready.
Wanna do a
whenever she
picture of all of
There
them?
she is.
Man, I'm hungry.
They've gone.
We ain't even done it.
Several people have moved on to us. Areas to fill.
I think so.
And plus they have the MAC meeting tonight, which is one against cancer. Plus the prostate cancer man. Please don't get me. Yeah, just, yeah. No. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank y'all.
Thank you.
On to item 10E, consider a motion authorizing the following 2019 Community Development Block Grant in Section 108 Loan Program Funding, Code Enforcement $95,000, Public Facilities Improvements, Water Improvements at the Strickland Water Tower Rehabilitation $122,777, and Administration at $67,006. Total CDBG staff recommendations are $284,783. Ms. Wilson.
Yes, as I said before, there is a cap on the administration. It's 20% of the allocation. Outside of that, we take recommendations from city departments, and the Strickland Water Tower was the one that needed the most attention at this time, so that's what we've got it in here for. And this is what the city staff recommends that we fund.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 10F, consider a motion accepting the resignation of Kevin Bates and Alice Norwood from the Citizens Advisory Committee. Ms. Wilson.
Yes, Kevin Bates has moved, one of the requirements is that they do live in the city limits, and Kevin Bates has moved out of Orange County. So he is requested to be removed from the council. And Alice Norwood has served, her term was to end, her second term was to end in July. And she has asked that she be allowed to resign at this time. She served for quite a while. She's been renominated, as many times as she could be, so this would be her ending term anyway. And she's just got a lot on her plate, and for personal reasons, she's asked to be removed.
So does that leave one open space?
That leaves, we actually have 3 open spaces with these 2.
Okay, 3.
This is the committee
Who
that
chose
just
the money?
recommended these people. They grilled these people for the money.
This is a committee also that will be working as part of a focus group on our analysis of impediments to affirmatively furthering fair housing, which is the civil rights actions within the city.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And can we please send them a letter of gratitude or some type of official
We sure can.
documentation?
We'll send-
I don't know if they want to come back for a meeting, but at least something to thank them for their service.
More than happy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
10G, consider a motion appointing Reverend Ian McLeod to the Citizens Advisory Committee for a term expiring May 14th, 2023. Ms. Wilson.
He has stated that he would like to be on the Citizens Advisory Committee, so we're asking for that appointment.
I'll approve.
Okay, we have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 10H, consider a motion awarding the bid for the seal of city-owned property located at 1404 Burton Avenue to Danny Kelly in the amount of $1,000. Mr. Knopf.
The city council authorized us to declare 1404 Burton Avenue as surplus property and put it up for sale. And we advertised twice, or for 2 weeks, in the Orange Leader, and we received 1 bid, and that bid was from Danny Kelly in the amount of $1,000.
All right. Okay, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. 10I, discussion and possible action regarding necessary business resulting from Hurricane Harvey. Mr. Knopf.
I don't have anything on this item.
Okay. On to 11, reports. Interim City Manager report.
Yes, I would like to introduce Brittany Perry, who is our new grants planner. She's taking Sandy Wilson's place, and we're very excited to have Brittany and think she's going to do a really great job. I'd also like to really thank Sandy for all of her work and dedication to the city. She's put in long hours, just time after time after time, and kept the city in compliance with all the federal regulations. And there's a lot of federal regulations that we have to stay in compliance with, but she's just done an exemplary job. And we're definitely going to miss Sandy, and she's helped out with social services, and she her area has a lot of social services, and Hurricane Harvey recovery programs and stuff that she has helped people with. So she's been invaluable to the organization and the community of Orange, and really like to thank Sandy for all of her work.
Okay. Yay. Well, welcome, Brittany, and Miss Sandy. Before you go, we're gonna make sure we send you out in style, okay? We're not gonna just tell you goodbye. We're gonna do something special.
Yep. And then also, we had posted for a special council meeting on Thursday, but since we had a quorum last night, then we were able to do what we needed to do, and so that meeting on Thursday is being canceled.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Okay, City Council report starting at my left.
Thank you all for coming, and nothing else.
Chief Frenzel, I didn't get a chance to attend the gala in your name, but I'm telling you, it was worth it to see Chief Martin cry today. That was all I needed to see, and that means that you have really impacted the lives of a lot of people here, and I appreciate you. Yes. More than you will ever know.
Yes.
The second report I have is, this is wonderful. I don't know what happened to the people that were sitting there, but the Citizens Advisory Committee has 2 openings, 3 openings? 3 openings. Get on there. Get on there and help us help you.
Okay. I kind of wrote mine down. I didn't want to miss, no,
She
just
got
a
a
little bit.
list.
First, I want to just thank everybody for being here. And I wanted to thank Laney and Congressman Babin for recognizing a great man. I wanted to thank the Salvation Army, the chief, she's gone now, Captain, but for their dedication to serving others as well. Chief, there's no words to say. That's amazing. Thank you for your dedication. I mean, it speaks volumes. It truly shows that you truly love the residents. You love Orange. And thank you so much. I feel safe. So thank you. I also want to ask for everyone to please keep our council member, Mayor Pro Tem Patrick Pullen, in your prayers. He's having a procedure done on today, and it's a major procedure, and so please keep him in your prayers. Please keep Bill Mello in your prayers. They both are some great men. They love their community. They love you, and so please keep them in your prayers. And just thank everybody for being here. Miss Sandy, we're gonna miss you. You are so smart. But Brandy, you are in. Brittany, you have a great lady that's going to be able to show you some amazing things, and thank you for being on board. Yes, you can see the officials here in Orange, they make things happen, so thank you for being a part of it. And thank you, Jay, thank you, Mr. Wolf. I just want to thank everybody for all y'all hard work. Ms. Zito, amazing, so thank you all. Go ahead.
So to reiterate everything, thank you guys all for being here. I think I'm gonna change it next time. I'm gonna go first so I can say some stuff without sounding like a broken record. But no, Ms. Wilson, thank you so much. Brittany, welcome. We're happy to have you. Grover, thank you for putting up with Terry. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Chief, we love you. We thank you, sir, and everyone that is here. Real quick before we leave, this past Friday was the ending of Orange County's first warrant resolution week. And I'm very happy to say that I've confirmed that just in the municipal court of Orange alone, Judge Pennington helped over 31 people get out of that situation.
That's
and
wonderful.
So that is a major step forward into getting people.
That was for 2 weeks?
So it was for just 1 week right now. This is our first time doing it. And so for 30-something people to come forward, and there are more, just to add to how awesome Judge Pennington is, he has let it be known that if you continue to come, he will continue to help. So it's
That's
not
wonderful.
over for the city of Orange only. So he's going to continue to do that. So thank you all for being here. And we will now adjourn to closed executive session, which you will be able to step outside or hang out in the library. Ms. Brenna said she's going to have popcorn and drinks for you. So number 12, deliberation regarding economic development negotiations, deliberation regarding real estate development project proposal as authorized by section 551.087 of the Texas Government Code regarding update on the proposed Chevron Phillips Chemical Company LP project. So at this time, if you're not a part of council, please step outside and we will let you know when we reconvene. But if you want to leave, we may not have much to talk about.